the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in the binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No mic, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune and turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just a vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. In shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just a beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go.
Boas's historical particularism, which is closely connected with cultural relativism, consists of the view that every society has its own, unique history, which is to say that there are no necessary stages that societies pass through. As a result, it is impossible to generalize about historical sequences, they are all unique. All societies have their own paths towards social sustainability and their own logic of continuity and change, Boas argued. Both this view and certain forms of cultural relativism have always been debated among anthropologists, but they have been deeply influential up to the present. Thomas Hyland Erickson, What is Anthropology 2nd ed. 2017, ch1. Why Anthropology. Thanks for reading No Mic Podcast Scribed by Facelesslingjutsu. Subscribe for free to receive new posts and support my work. It is obvious, therefore, that attempts to classify mankind, based on the present distribution of type, language, and culture, must lead to different results, according to the point of view taken, that a classification based primarily on type alone will lead to a system which represents more or less accurately the blood relationships of the people, but these do not need to coincide with their cultural relationships. In the same way, classifications based on language and culture do not need to coincide with a biological classification. 1911, reprinted 1965. 142 1911-1965. The Mind of Primitive Man, Revised Edition. New York, The Free Press. Franz Boas 1858-1942 is widely recognized as the father of American anthropology. A German-born American anthropologist, he profoundly shaped the discipline in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, moving it from a field dominated by amateurs and speculative theories to a rigorous, professional academic pursuit. Franz Boas's early life began on July 9, 1858, in Minden, Westphalia, Germany. He was born into a family that, while of Jewish heritage, embraced a distinctly liberal, intellectual, and secular worldview. This environment was crucial in shaping his perspectives. His parents weren't just nurturing, they actively fostered a home where independent thought was not just tolerated, but encouraged. They instilled in young Franz a strong sense of social justice and a healthy skepticism towards dogma, be it religious, political, or scientific. These deeply ingrained values became fundamental pillars of his later work as an anthropologist. They fueled his lifelong commitment to challenging prevailing prejudices, questioning established norms, and advocating for a nuanced understanding of human diversity. The intellectual freedom and ethical grounding he received at home provided the bedrock for his revolutionary contributions to the field. His intellectual inclinations were clearly geared towards the natural sciences. He was not merely a passive observer, he actively engaged with subjects like botany, delving into the plant kingdom, geography, seeking to understand the Earth's physical features and human interactions with them, geology, fascinated by the planet's formation and processes, and astronomy, pondering the vastness of the cosmos. This early passion for systematic observation and classification of the natural world laid a crucial foundation for his later scientific methodology in anthropology. As he progressed into his higher education, Boas enrolled in some of Germany's most esteemed institutions of the time. He pursued his studies at the venerable University of Heidelberg, known for its rigorous academic standards, the equally renowned University of Bonn, and finally, the University of Kiel. These universities provided him with a comprehensive and demanding academic training. During his years at these prestigious institutions, his primary academic concentrations were in physics and geography. Physics, with its emphasis on empirical laws, measurement, and experimentation, honed his analytical skills and commitment to verifiable data. Geography, on the other hand, broadened his perspective to include the study of environments and their potential influences, though his later work would significantly complicate simplistic environmental determinism. Beyond these core subjects, he also delved into mathematics, which provided him with crucial tools for quantitative analysis, and various humanities, demonstrating an early interdisciplinary inclination that would characterize his holistic approach to anthropology. This broad and rigorous scientific training, far from being a detour, equipped him with the intellectual tools and a critical mindset that he would powerfully apply to the study of human cultures. Upon his arrival in the United States in 1887, Boas quickly sought to embed himself in the academic world. He first took on a role as an assistant editor for Science magazine, showcasing his commitment to disseminating scientific knowledge. Shortly thereafter, he secured a position at the newly founded Clark University in Worcester, Massachusetts, from 1888 to 1892. While his tenure there was relatively brief due to clashes over academic autonomy, it marked his initial foray into formal academic instruction in the U.S. Crucially, even as he was finding his footing institutionally, Boas was already deeply engaged in intensive ethnographic fieldwork, particularly among the indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest coast. Commencing in 1886 with the Kwakiutl now Kwakwaka'wakw, this region became a lifelong focus of his research. He undertook numerous expeditions over several decades, meticulously documenting their languages, intricate social structures, rich oral traditions, elaborate ceremonies like the potlatch, and distinctive art forms. This extensive, immersive fieldwork became the bedrock of his methodological approach, firmly establishing the importance of direct observation and detailed data collection in understanding diverse cultures. Beyond academia, Boas significantly influenced the presentation of culture in museums. He played a crucial role in organizing the anthropological exhibits for the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago in 1893. This immense undertaking provided him with a public platform to advocate for a more nuanced representation of cultural diversity, challenging the then common practice of displaying artifacts in a linear, evolutionary sequence. Many of the materials he gathered for the exposition later formed the core collection of the Field Columbian Museum, now the Field Museum. Subsequently, from 1896 to 1905, he served as assistant curator and later curator of anthropology at the American Museum of Natural History AMNH in New York City. During his time there, Boas revolutionized museum exhibition practices by advocating for contextual displays, such as meticulously crafted dioramas, to authentically portray indigenous life. He also directed the ambitious Jesup North Pacific Expedition 1897–1902, a massive 5-year research project that aimed to investigate the cultural and biological connections between the indigenous peoples of Siberia and North America. Although ideological disagreements with museum management eventually led to his resignation, allowing him to concentrate more fully on university work, his innovative curatorial approach left an indelible mark. The most profound and lasting impact of Boas's next work unfolded at Columbia University. Beginning as a lecturer in 1896, he was appointed the first professor of anthropology in 1899. More significantly, he established the first anthropology department in the United States at Columbia, creating the nation's inaugural PhD program in the discipline. This department rapidly became the intellectual epicenter of American anthropology for decades. At Columbia, Boas excelled as a legendary teacher and mentor. He cultivated a diverse and brilliant cohort of students, many of whom went on to become the leading figures in American anthropology, including such luminaries as Alfred Kroeber, his first PhD student, Ruth Benedict, Margaret Mead, Edward Sapir, and Zora Neale Hurston. These Boasians carried his intellectual torch, disseminating his ideas and establishing anthropology departments across the country, notably at institutions like Berkeley, Chicago, and Northwestern. He was particularly forward-thinking in his support for women entering the field, a rare stance at a time when academic opportunities for them were severely limited. Throughout his extensive career, Boas remained relentlessly productive, publishing hundreds of articles and numerous books that spanned virtually every subfield of anthropology. His next work also involved a tireless intellectual battle against the prevailing biases of his era. He solidified his theories of cultural relativism, arguing vehemently that each culture must be understood on its own terms, free from ethnocentric judgments. This was directly tied to his concept of historical particularism, which posited that each society has a unique historical trajectory shaped by distinct cultural, environmental, and historical forces, thus rejecting universal evolutionary stages. Crucially, Boas dedicated his scientific rigor to actively dismantling scientific racism, a dominant ideology that sought to explain human behavior and cultural differences through supposed immutable biological distinctions. His seminal 1911 work, The Mind of Primitive Man, directly challenged these notions, asserting the equal intellectual capacity of all human groups. Furthermore, his famous study, Changes in Bodily Form of Descendants of Immigrants, also 1911, provided concrete scientific evidence that physical characteristics previously considered fixed racial markers like head shape could change within a single generation due to environmental factors, offering a powerful rebuttal to biological determinism and a testament to human plasticity. He also emerged as a foundational figure in linguistic anthropology, insisting that understanding a culture required a deep immersion in its language, as language shapes thought and perception. He trained students in linguistics and initiated monumental projects like the multi-volume Handbook of American Indian Languages, which documented numerous indigenous languages, many on the verge of extinction. He also founded the International Journal of American Linguistics in 1917. Finally, Boas was instrumental in establishing and leading key professional organizations, most notably the American Anthropological Association AAA, solidifying the professional identity of anthropology in the U.S. and further disseminating his vision for the discipline. Primitive Art 1927, an influential work exploring the aesthetics and cultural context of art from non-Western societies. Anthropology and Modern Life 1928, a more accessible book where he applied anthropological insights to contemporary social issues. Race, Language, and Culture 1940, a collection of his most important essays, providing a comprehensive overview of his theoretical positions. Franz Boas's remarkable life came to an end on December 21, 1942, in New York City, at the age of 84. Even in his final moments, his commitment to intellectual discourse and social justice remained unwavering. He passed away during a dinner at the Columbia University Faculty Club, reportedly from a stroke, while in conversation with the renowned French anthropologist Claude Lévi-Strauss. This poignant end to his life mirrored his lifelong dedication to challenging dogmas and advancing understanding, solidifying his legacy as a titan who fundamentally reshaped the study of humanity. While the specific phrase four-field approach might not have been a direct coinage by Franz Boas himself in every instance, the fundamental concept, integration, and institutionalization of this holistic framework in American anthropology are undeniably and accurately attributed to him. He was the driving force who not only articulated the theoretical necessity of combining insights from cultural anthropology, linguistic anthropology, archaeology, and physical anthropology for a comprehensive understanding of humanity, but he also actively implemented this model. Most significantly, he built the groundbreaking anthropology department at Columbia University upon this very structure, setting a precedent that became the standard for numerous other anthropology programs across the United States. Furthermore, through his legendary mentorship, he trained a profoundly influential generation of scholars who, in turn, propagated this four-field model as they established their own departments and pursued their research. Therefore, while not perhaps named after him in the sense of a formal title, the four-field approach is his profound and enduring legacy in shaping the character and scope of American anthropology. Eugenics should, therefore, not be allowed to deceive us into the belief that we should try to raise a race of supermen, nor that it should be our aim to eliminate all suffering and pain. The attempt to suppress those defective classes whose deficiencies can be proved by rigid methods to be due to hereditary causes, and to prevent unions that will unavoidably lead to the birth of disease-stricken progeny, is the proper field of eugenics. How much can be and should be attempted in this field depends upon the results of careful studies of the law of heredity. Eugenics is not a panacea that will cure human ills, it is rather a dangerous sword that may turn its edge against those who rely on its strength. Eugenics, in the Scientific Monthly, J. McKean Cattell, ed. Volume 3, Number 5, November, 1916 1-2.
Mics on the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in a binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No light, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Hidden in shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just the beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go. Pure and raw. Pure and raw. and feel. Pure and raw.